we are a clinical stage biopharma company based in Salt Lake City. We are developing an allogeneic, what we refer to as IDCT, which stands for injectable discogenic cell therapy for lumbar degenerative disc disease. We have targeted a patient population in a very conservative way of this mild to moderate space of mechanical and axial back pain at 2.5 million patients annually. And this single injection of IDCT has demonstrated regenerative capacity and potential to treat underlying pathophysiology of DDD. And we believe it can be disease modifying, which we've shown in our phase 1/2 trial, which we'll discuss. We did receive an RMAT designation, which stands for Regenerative Medicine Advanced Therapy, here this past January, based on the phase 1/2 data, along with a fast track designation, which we received in 2019 around the safety of the use of human cells in all of our preclinical animal studies. We also have built out a scalable, built for purpose allogeneic cell manufacturing facility here in Salt Lake.
There is this gap in treatment. And when you narrow it down, I mean, the number of patients that have suffered from moderate to severe chronic neuropathic low back pain, is anywhere from 4 to 5 million people, just based on claims data. But we know that that's the tip of the iceberg because there's a lot of patients that aren't actually getting treated.
This next slide, I'm going to just show you a patient, and this is probably the most important thing. And if this doesn't wow the people in the audience, I don't think anything will. This is the most impressive thing I have seen in doing spine surgery and clinical trials in 30 years. This is a woman who has structural back pain. She had problems. She tried conservative care. She tried everything. This is the typical patient that's the walking wounded that doesn't want to have surgery. Married, 2 children, a first grade teacher. This is her MRI. And what I want you to see is if you look here at the bottom, you'll see this disc with a little tear in the disc. This disc is thinner than all the other discs. And that was determined, again, by the process that this is where the structural back pain is occurring. At 6 months, we saw improvement in disc volume and disc height. Now, I want to show you again, this is going to be the most impressive slide I think of today. Over here is the original screening slide, and this is 6 months. Now, watch the disc height here and here as I blow that up. Okay, what you see here is this disc is visibly larger and thicker than this disc. Visibly larger and thicker, same thing, same window. Now, why is that important? In all the clinical trials I've done, never have we seen something that will regrow your disc. Never. And incidentally, not only did it regrow the disc, but more importantly, her patient-reported outcomes are dramatically improved. So this is why I'm excited about this visual thing of regrowing your disc. There is no one else out there that has this. This is groundbreaking, this is disruptive, and it has the ability to change everything. And sorry for my going on too much, but it's just so impressive.
No,
it's so impressive.
Yeah.
We had a 36-year-old prison guard. He presented with severe symptoms in his back, was unable to work full duty, was contemplating surgery, and would have qualified for surgery. But we offered him the opportunity to participate in the study. He was able to return to work full duty, and of note, his job responsibilities involved working 4 to 5 miles per shift. And so that was a huge quality of life for him. And that translates in, to him getting back to work, and the costs related to the employer and him missing work on his own personal income.
That's great.
Second patient, we had a woman. She she came into the office she required a cane and occasionally a wheelchair to help her walk. And after treatment with IDCT, she was able to return to her work as a line worker at Walgreens warehouse, full duty. And that patient also had a history of narcotic use prior to seeing us, and now only takes Tylenol occasionally. We did follow the patient that Matt presented out to 3 years, and her disc on MRI continued to show improvement in disc height and disc volume. So continued long-term. The patients, as Flagg said, we have followed several out to 3 years, and we're continuing to see that trend in terms of their patient-reported outcomes, how they're feeling, their quality of life, and their imaging is supporting that as well.
Why does DiscGenics work rather than other cell therapies? And I don't think we alluded to this, but maybe the audience knows, but the DiscGenics cell is a precursor to the disc cell. So what that means is, if we go all the way backward to a stem cell where it could become anything, these have moved along, and they know when they go in the disc, they know they're supposed to be a disc, they're supposed to generate substances that are in the disc. That's why the disc, in my opinion, regrows, is because these cells automatically know where they're supposed to be. They don't have to figure it out, and they grow. And the disc is a very toxic environment. It can be very acidic and all those things. So by knowing that you're supposed to be a disc and then regrowing, that's what makes it so special. There is no one else that has this. No one.
We believe that our results in a randomized, double-blinded, placebo and vehicle-controlled trial speaks volumes. And we put out the challenge to any other company. They need to have the same rigor that we've had to show their comparable results, of which we've seen none. I think that's the difference.
Can I make a comment on that?
Yeah, please, doctor.
Buyer beware. There are many charlatans in this area because there's so much cash money that people will dole out because they don't have an option for back pain. And so what happens here is let's just review and why DiscGenics is different. Those things, until they put up the same data that we have, it's hocus pocus, in my opinion, as a clinician. And I have no problem saying that, and no problem challenging it. And I'm going to be on a large panel at the largest spine meeting on cellular therapies. And I could just tell you it's hocus pocus.
We do think there will be a follow-on phase 3 trial that we may have to do. And we're hoping that, given the output reads of phase 1-2, that we can accelerate that trial as well, and move this to a accelerated review for a BLA pathway during that trial, so that we could begin to commercialize. We also believe that there are some commercialization opportunities possibly in Japan and other parts of the world. We do have a conditional approval in one part of the world pending some CMC data that we need to show that regulatory body. So we're very, very excited about that moving forward, and gaining momentum in the space to get these approvals, to get to commercialization. So we think that's an important piece, and to be able to give a patient a dose that they know they're getting, as opposed to these rather rigorous trials. So that's our hope, and that's where we're headed.
If DiscGenics sticks to their timelines that are set before them with the FDA, if they get approved, yeah, it's uncorrelated in the sense that they can continue to develop and raise their value. And again, as an analyst, we always kind of take caution. We try and toe the line between committing full bore with saying, well, yes, this is going to get approved, right? I mean, there's always a chance that something could not get approved, but frankly, I think what Flagg and the team has done clinically with the science, with the program that they've built, the quality controls, it's certainly encouraging from my perspective, having covered the spine markets for 10 plus years now.